Good morning, everyone. What we're going to be talking about this morning is how gratitude affects the very cells of your body. Now, of course, last week was Thanksgiving, and I hope that everybody was more focused on giving thanks, just recognizing how much we have to be grateful for. And I had actually planned to teach this before Thanksgiving, but when we decided last week not to have it, which was really a blessing for me as well, I decided, well, this is a subject we need to be conscious of every day of our life, not just the last Thursday in November. So, what we're talking about this morning is how gratitude, the thoughts you have, the words you speak, how it literally changes the cells in your body. And one of the things I found as I was researching it was it increases longevity. Now, we talk a lot about good health, longevity, and just living a quality life till God calls us home. And one of the things we can add is expressing thanks. And that can come not only out of our mouth to people, actually telling them, thank you, I appreciate you, uh, the words, but also just the positive, grateful thoughts that we cultivate in our brain, because these thoughts and the words we say literally affect our gut microbiome. And I'm going to show you some science later that um, sort of underscores this and proves it. So, when we are living a life of gratitude, one of the first things we're going to be doing is pushing negative emotions aside. That's going to help your health immediately. There's all sorts of ways the mind affects the body. Now, typically, I'm talking to you about how the body affects the mind. Um, there's a lot of information out there on how the mind affects the body. So, the field that I have been working on is how does the mind then how does the body then affect the mind? And the the thing that I have realized every year when I have researched gratitude is there's more and more information out there that is underscoring that how we think, uh, not just how we feel, but how we think, consciously think, overcoming negative thinking and overcoming negative words affects our body. Um, so, as we talk about this morning, we're going to be looking at some science, and then we're going to be talking about some of the ways that our very life vantage contributes to this. So, let me get to my screen sharing and see if I can't prove what I'm saying with a little bit of science here. Let's start with this one, the neuroscience of gratitude. Look at this, how being thankful rewires your brain. He starts out the article, or a woman, I'm not sure who wrote this, by saying that gratitude is a powerful, and you know how it is when someone sincerely expresses gratitude to you. There's powerful emotions that occur in your body, but the writer here also calls it transformational emotion. Now, through cultures, you know how important it has been in cultures to teach children how to say a simple thank you. You can remember taking your little toddler if you've raised children, or other children if you've taught them. And when someone did something, you would say, tell them thank you, say thank you. And then the reciprocal person, the English relation, it would say, you're welcome or my pleasure, depending on where they were raised. So, in every culture that I've ever visited, or even for a short time, there was expressions of gratitude. So, for thousands and thousands of years, we have cultivated this. I want you to notice, however, that it is not as prevalent today in our culture. It used to be so common, for example, for a man to open a door and for the person to reply, "Thank you." Recently, you saw that there was a murder. Two women got in a big argument, and one woman pulled a gun and shot her because an older woman opened the door and let a younger woman walk through. And the older woman, it takes a village to raise a child, you know, and sometimes children are 40 years old, said to her, "Well, thank you," as if reminding her to express gratitude. That ensued in a fight. Now, this is a fight between generationals, and it ended up with the dear older woman being killed over the young woman not expressing gratitude and thank you. Now, that's extreme, don't you think? I definitely think that is extreme. But I'm bringing that out to say that right now we have to set an example of gratitude. So get those thank yous. Get those "I appreciate you." Those "so grateful for you." How thoughtful of you. How kind. Those expressions in your mouth. They need to form here. They need to come out of your mouth, but they change everything in your body, and they also change it for the person you're talking to. So this writer says one of the key brain regions associated with gratitude is the prefrontal cortex. Now, you hear about this because this is one of the ones that can go first with dementia. This is responsible for executive functions like decision making, emotional regulation, and moral reasoning. What? Being grateful can help you with your decision making, your emotional regulation, and your moral reasoning. Has there ever been a time in our world that we needed moral reasoning more? There certainly hasn't been in my lifetime. We need moral reasoning desperately. Notice that when you feel grateful, the prefrontal cortex lights up, indicating its involvement in the experience of gratitude. How do they know this? They put the things on your head and they watch it. And so when you're expressing gratitude, this lights up. It activates. Then he goes on to say that the reward system in your in your mind, whenever you express gratitude, your brain begins to produce dopamine and serotonin more. And this, when your brain and mind begins to produce dopamine and serotonin, then this begins to flood your body with not just happy chemicals, but chemicals that just help you do so much better with just living life. This writer goes on to say that gratitude is a circuit within the brain. It's a loop. And it begins to activate the production of these neurotransmitters. And then it goes back to activate other good parts, not just of your brain, but of your body. Let's look at this one. How speaking gratitude wires the brain. Now, what do I mean by wiring the brain? What I mean is that we have a brain that they use the term now, neuroplastic. It means our brains are developing all the time. So regardless how old you are, expressing gratitude will activate this reward system and these feel-good neurotransmitters will begin to help you be more emotionally stable. Now, we see this with people who choose to start speaking positive words instead of negative words. It begins to literally strengthen these neural pathways. Going ahead with this, how gratitude rewires the brain. does exactly what I say. It creates more neurochemicals that promote happiness, contentment, and well being. It strengthens emotional regulation. Now, I've done a lot of marriage counseling through the years. And one of the things that's so heartbreaking for a wife is if she doesn't hear gratitude from her husband and the children. Regardless of what she's having to do or lay down in order for her family, she still has feelings inside. She needs to hear thank you. But also the man. I've heard many men say that his wife doesn't appreciate his hard work, or he has to work hard with his hands, has to work out in all sorts of labor, and his wife never says thank you. Well, when you're listening to that, you just realize we all need to be more grateful. We need to speak these words of gratitude. Gratitude decreases activity and the amygdala. Now, this is the fear and stress center in your brain. This is what is the proverbial fight or flight center of your brain. So, what does it do? When you express gratitude, it helps to lower cortisol. It also boosts empathy and positive perspective. It helps you to understand when you're expressing gratitude. It helps you to develop more empathy. And this is important with a child. They continue to get more good feelings in their body when they're taught to share. And it connects your brain and builds a stronger connectivity in the brain. And this is one of the best ones in today's world. It enhances your cognitive function. The positive mindset that's associated with gratitude is linked to creativity, open-mindedness, and effective thinking. That's reason enough right there, right? Let's see what else we have here. This one, how does it help your gut thrive? What? Can saying thank you, can being grateful help your microbiome thrive? According to this, it helps the gut by reducing stress and triggering a rest and digest state through the gut-brain axis. This reduces the stress hormones, calms the nervous system, lowers inflammation. Are you following me here? Being grateful, speaking gratitude, saying thank you, being positive. It lowers the inflammation throughout your body, including the gut. It helps to lower inflammation in the digestive tract. It improves digestion and absorption, promotes healthy habits. How about that? This was a new one for me. I hadn't thought about how being grateful could help me make better choices with foods and eating more slowly, staying consistent with healthy meals. Now, he suggests simply pausing, or AI suggests pausing before meals. In our house and how our children were raised, we always ask a blessing before our meals. And I do now. If I'm in a restaurant, it doesn't matter where I am, I want to show a grateful heart for my food. We have had countless people through the years to come over and comment when they've seen our family hold hands and pray, or they've seen my husband and I. Just happened this past week in a restaurant. They came over and commented on how wonderful it was to see us praying. It used to be routine, didn't it? In your schools, many of you, none of you are as old as I am at 82, but you may remember where in your elementary classrooms you had a blessing, a thank you. Thank you, God, for our food before you went to the school cafeteria. It's unfortunate that that was outlawed as, I guess, being highly dangerous. So he's also suggesting here that you take something that's a routine, like your morning coffee or tea, to reflect on what you are grateful for. I call that counting your blessings. the there was an old song on how um, this guy falls asleep counting his blessings instead of counting sheep. And I think that is one of the ways that we can quite simply begin even today. It's not just remembering to say thank you, remembering to express gratitude, but literally be making a conscious decision every night before you go to sleep, every morning, to sit and reflect on your blessings. Just one, the blessings of knowing God, if you know God, the family that He's given you, even if your family may be struggling. Living in a country that, like we live in, that we have to make better. We have to be grateful for our company, our country, and we have to make it better. This one just continued how these positive emotions go through the gut brain axis, how it nourishes the gut ecosystem, and so much in our bodies. Everything really is determined by this brain gut axis. How it's going to help us sleep better, and just how it helps us to be a healthier individual. Now, typically on our program, whenever we finish up with whatever information we have, we talk about how our products help us. And as I was reflecting on this morning, I thought about, well, our company LifeVantage can help us financially. It can help us determine, do we need extra income, a side gig? Do we need to be, do we want to strive toward financial independence? What do we want to strive for? Because better financial health means better health. Secondly, our first, whichever way you want to rank them, our company LifeVantage has provided for us the best health-giving products out there on the market. I've been taking our LifeVantage products for 15 years. Everything that comes down the track, I'm going to try it out. And it's always the best. And I'm so grateful that our company provides us and goes out and researches or develops top products for us that are made with quality, that are made under regulations, that are made with top quality, medicinal quality herbs and plants. But I want to tell you one of the things I'm the most grateful for with our company, and it may be the very best of what LifeVantage offers, and that's our relationships. I have been so blessed by getting to know you all. I have been so privileged to get to know some incredibly beautiful and wonderful, intelligent, sincere people. And that may be the very best product our company offers, is meaningful relationships where we have common purpose. Now, I want you to, as we're ending this year, going into next year, I want you to show your gratefulness for just the simplicity of having the knowledge of these products. I was talking with Renee this morning. She was talking with a doctor who'd written a paper on NRF2 and the heart. And she was able to say that she knew a way of enabling her body to make NRF2. And you know what? She knew more than her doctor knows, of course. Now, he hasn't listened to her tell the whole story yet, but many of you know more than your medical community. But be grateful enough to find a way to help people. And that may be helping the very the doctors who may be asking why your A1C is lower, why your blood pressure is lower, why your cholesterol is lower. Take an opportunity today, post-Thanksgiving, to make a decision that you're going to become a more grateful person and you're going to become a more verbal person on expressing your gratitude and expressing in a way, not an overpowering salesman way, that you have information that may help them live a better life. Thank you. Hope to see you all next week. Bye.